Hello, now we have problem number 69, your favorite number. Find the peak 3n+1 sequence value. So, as I have read this problem, it refers to the problem number 21. We're gonna see why. And the statement says, a collapse sequence is a sequence where, for a given number n, the next number in the sequence is either n divided by 2 if the number is even, or 3 times n plus 1 if the number is odd. So as we can see here, is a problem where, depending of if the number is even or odd, follows a sequence of steps until the final point, which is 1. So yeah, it's kind of a function, and depending of if it's even or odd, you do something else, right? 3 times this number plus 1, 40, and then divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2, and then it repeats until it gets to 1. It always gets to 1, so it's not an infinite loop. What they are asking us is to have a vector Cn that is the sequence for n. So in this case, as we understand, Cn should be this. So C of 13 is gonna be this vector. Let's see if we can make it colors just to show it better. And yeah, you can show that this is the vector for C13. It's just the sequences, or the combination of all the sequences that you get when you do this algorithm. And yeah, it says Pn be the peak value of that sequence. So in this case, the peak value will be 40. So this will be Pn. P of 13 is gonna be 40 because it's the maximum value in this sequence. For a given threshold n max, find the highest peak value max of Pn of all collapse sequences starting with integers between 1 and n max. So what they are asking us is, starting from P1 and going also with P2, and then also P3, and you can go until Pn max. So this is the limit. This will be the last number that we are gonna check. We should get the maximum value of each vector. So in this case, that will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 10 if I'm not mistaken. And then after we get the maximum value of all this, we have to check which of these maximum values is the biggest one. So we have to check for all the sequences. And yeah, that's a problem. I don't think it's that hard. So let's try it. Let's make it in code. Okay, so we already made the problem. It was not quite hard. It was actually very easy, and yeah. Let me show on the graph how I make it. Yeah, as we see, the problem has various steps, has a number of steps that we first want to make. The first part is like the algorithm, where you have to show how the sequence has to be done. In this case, I'm using mod. So in the case that if the number is odd, that means that the mod of the number and 2 is 1, because when you divide that number by 2, the leftover or the rest is 1. So you follow the instructions where you multiply the number by 3 and then you add 1, and you add that to a vector which is called C. That's why I'm creating a vector here which starts empty, and yeah, we just add it. On the other case, that is if the number is even, then the mod of I and 2 is gonna be 0, and in that case we just divide it by 2 and we add it to the vector. So that way we can create a vector with all the sequence. As we can see here, this is the sequence for 1, for 2, for 3, 4, and we can go further. This happens with the command while. Yeah, and while it's there because when the number is 1, the final number is 1, it stops. That's why I'm giving this condition. Yeah, and that's it. That's how you make the first part, which is the algorithm. And then what you have to do is go from the number 1 to the maximum value that you want to check, which is n max. So for example, if we say that n max is 13, it's going to check for 1 to 13. What do we do after this? We get c, which is the maximum value of the vector. So for example, here will be 1, c in this case is 2, c in this case is 16, and c in this case is 4. So all these values are saved on another vector, which is p. And yeah, p is here showing, and we're showing that their values are just the maximum values of each sequence. So yeah, we try for 13, and then we get another set of vectors, which is just the sequence for all these values of I, and then p is a vector that shows the maximum values of each sequence. Finally, we just get the maximum value from all these maximum values, and that's p max. And in this case, p max will be 52, and that's our answer. So yeah, that's how I make it. It's actually quite easy. And yeah, let me see, there are other problems more challenging. That's it for this problem, and this is the version with the function part, which is what I have to copy and paste to this part here, because this is working as a function. And you can see that it works for all the tests, and that's it. Thank you.